Macklin Celebrini leads the way as the San Jose Sharks erupt for 7. Put up 7 on the LA Kings.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, welcome to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay Area. My name is JD Young, caretaker at the Reef, also the co-host of Western Conference Tuesdays on the Locked On NHL channel. I want to thank you for making a Locked On Sharks your first listen. Probably part of the Locked On Network. We cover your team every day, and especially when they beat LA. So if you want to be an everydayer, all you have to do is just follow wherever you get podcasts, or you can watch on YouTube as well. And today we're going to be breaking down the Sharks' 7-2 win over the LA Kings. Macklin Celebrini continues to impress, this time with 2 goals and an assist. And how, again, it just feels like he's just scratching the surface of what he is going to be. Talk about how the Sharks learn some lessons from the Sabres game and get caught up on some news and notes around San Jose Sharks and some of their prospects. So before we get into all that, do want to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. You can start the season with a big return on FanDuel. New customers can place a $5 bet. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Macklin Celebrini, he's great. He's great. What else to say? Mikael Granlund was a game time decision, ended up being a scratch for tonight. Celebrini bumped up to the first line to play with the Lunds. We had this Lund line. Lund. We're going to work on that one. And kid produced 2 goals, another assist. Just you see that first goal that he scores where he looks, he's not even looking at the net until the very last second. And I don't care. You could have built a brick wall and he still would have found a way to get the puck in there. His accuracy and the ability to look people off, it's ridiculous how well he is able to do those things. Just Sharks have a special player. He's good. But yeah, Celebrini goal there. Also got rewarded with the one-timer goal on the power play that he was robbed by James Reimer on Saturday night. End up scoring kind of in the exact same spot tonight. And an assist as well on Fabian Zetterlund's goal. Like, you're seeing Celebrini the playmaker, Celebrini the scorer, as the Sharks offense comes alive in the third period. And big thing, I think, kind of other than Celebrini, the big takeaway, I think, from this game was we talked about Saturday night after the Sharks blew that game against the Sabres, right? Where you're winning and then you don't know how to kind of put a team away. And tonight, you saw the Sharks put a team away. The LA Kings completely imploded, giving up multiple penalties, right? Sharks score, great goal. Mario Farah, good night tonight. So Sharks score, and then the Kings challenger, right? The Sharks get a power play because of the Kings were failed the challenge. And then right away, the Kings take another penalty. So you have a minute 40 of 5-on-3. And we've seen the power play, even earlier in this game, the power play really struggled, but took advantage of the opportunity to put this game away in that situation. And that is what they did. And they kept their foot on the gas, which is, again, what you want to see this team do, right? the Celebrini power play goal that I was just talking like there, that puts them up 5-2. And we've seen the Sharks team blow 3-goal leads. We've seen we've seen the Sharks team come back from 3-goal like deficits. Like 3 goals in the NHL is not a big lead. Like you want to continue to play. The Sharks tacked on 2 more goals in this game. Again, Alex Wenberg on the power play, taking advantage. You get a 4-minute double minor there. You got to put up something just to kind of put this game away with, halfway through the third period. And then Luke Cunnin, great individual effort with, less than 2 minutes left to put the cherry on top. But this is a great lesson, especially after what just happened Saturday night, right? Where you blow a game that you probably should have won. This game, you very much, especially the first 2 periods, very stick in the mud. Both teams kind of trying to feel each other out. Both teams kind of trying to, it just wasn't a clean game, right? But the Sharks put on a third period here, and they kept their foot on the gas. They kept pushing, and they put one away, which is something we have not seen the Sharks team, one, have a chance to do very often, and 2, when they do get a chance to do it, we haven't seen them be able to execute, and the Sharks executed tonight. And that is, I think, the biggest compliment you can give this team is they found a way to execute and put this game away and not have to stress about it and make this third period a celebration, which it was, right? You saw the guys on the bench having a good time. The whole crowd was having a good time. Make the third period a celebration. And that is what the Sharks did in this game. So some other guys I think who had great nights. William Eklund continues to just do great William Eklund things. Had primary assist. He had a primary assist on the Zetterlund, primary assist on the second Celebrini goal. Like absolute beautiful pass to Celebrini and just puts it right where he needs to. Will Smith, 2 assists for him tonight. We had the Will Smith to Eklund to Celebrini that we've all been dreaming about since the Sharks drafted Macklin Celebrini. Just all 3 of those guys contributing right there. Smith, who I think still has some of his rookie moments, but given an opportunity in the third period on the power play, I love how, especially that power play, the 5-on-3. Ryan Warsofsky went for the kill there. And I think that's a big reason of putting this game away. He went the 5 forward power play. He's like, I'm going to just put my 5 best players out there. Celebrini, Smith, Eklund, Wenberg, Toffoli. Everyone has a role. You know what you're supposed to do. Go do it. And I think that's a huge signal to this team. It would have been very easy, especially up 2 goals. It'd been very easy. Let's just have a good power play. Let's be conservative here. We're up 5-3. No, Warsofsky went for the kill there, putting the 5 forward unit out there, and especially on a power play that had really struggled in this game. I love that from Warsofsky. We have an opportunity to go for the kill here, and that's what they did. So huge win for the Sharks to snap their 3-game losing streak. Games that were, again, they were in all these games, right? You think about the Sabres game where they blew a lead. You think about the Blues game, which goes to a shootout, and some missed opportunities in that game. The Sharks team has been in a lot of these games and just haven't been able to kind of find a way to either A, close that out, or B, kind of scrape together something. Even going back to, the Dallas game, where that was 3-2 with a couple minutes left, and then they tacked on some empty netters to kind of put that one away as well. So huge win for the Sharks tonight. And you got to feel good about Ottawa, who I know they won tonight, but Ottawa's lost a bunch of games in a row on Wednesday. And then you're playing the Kraken back-to-back Friday and Saturday. Nice home and home series. The Sharks, realistically, the Sharks should win 2 out of these 3 games here. And just the way that they're playing, if they can play like they played tonight, I don't see why the Sharks can't continue to scratch and claw some wins here. And especially against opponents like the Sens, who are kind of in the same, bottom of the tier right now. And an opponent like the Kraken, who are also kind of trying to figure things out. wins like that, and especially at home, the Sharks team at home, they're going to make you earn it, and they played really well tonight. So we're going to dig into the numbers, kind of look at how the Sharks took advantage and continue to look at how this game, they put this game away in the third period, look at how the lines perform, and then we'll get caught up on some news and notes around the Sharks here in just 1 minute. PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in award winnings. PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. PrizePicks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. If you sign up today, you get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. With PrizePicks, you can win money as your favorite player collects points. So if you think Macklin Celebrini can continue on and has more than a half a goal in him, you just click more on his PrizePick entry and turn your predictions into cash. So download the app today. Use code LOCKEDONNHL to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app, use code LOCKEDONNHL to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. All right, before we continue, we dig into the numbers. Do, of course, want to thank you guys for making Locked On Sharks your first listen. Probably part of the Locked On Network. We cover your team every day. All you got to do now, when you're done listening to this, go check out Locked On Fantasy Hockey. So if you need some help with your fantasy team, maybe who to pick up, who you need to drop, who to target in trades, they got you covered there. Or go check out one of the other shows here in the Bay Area, Locked On 49ers, Locked On Warriors, Locked On A's, Locked On Giants. Plenty of great stuff here at the Locked On Network. Again, we cover your team every day. All right, let's dig into the numbers. So this game is going to be a little funky, especially with so much power play and kind of the flow of the game, and especially the first 2 periods where it was really choppy, and then the third period where the Sharks they put the game away, but especially on the power play. So we had 47 minutes of 5v5. 51 to 31 shot attempts in favor of the Kings. Actual shots was 22 to 18 at 5-on-5 in favor of the Kings. Scoring chances for 24 to 11 in favor of the Kings. 11 to 3 high danger chances for in favor of the Kings. 2.16 to 1.09 expected goals for in favor of the Kings. So the first 2 periods were definitely kind of Kings oriented, where they kind of outshot the Sharks and they had more kind of scoring chances, especially that second period where the Kings kind of took it to the Sharks a little bit. 14 to 5 scoring chances in favor of the Kings, 9 to 2 high danger chances, 1.39 to 0.52 expected goals for in favor of the Kings. So Askarov kept the Sharks in it. They did score 2 goals in there as well. But it was the credit to the Sharks, though. They found a way to take over this game, come back and tie this game up and take over this game. So looking at the forward lines tonight, you had Eklund, Celebrini, Zetterlund played over 10 minutes. 6 to 11 shot attempts. Actual shots was 5 to 5. 2 goals for, 0 allowed, of course. 0.33 to 0.28 expected goals for, 3 to 3 scoring chances for that line. So quality over quantity. They gave up some shot attempts, but they were getting stuff on net. They scored 2 goals, of course. So I'll take it. Then you also had, Cunnin, Wenberg to Foley. They played over 11 minutes tonight, 9 to 11 shot attempts, 4 to 5 actual shots, 1 goal for, 0 allowed, 0.32 to 0.27 expected goals for, 5 to 5 scoring chances, 1 to 2 high danger chances. So that line was pretty effective tonight as well. Like I know Cunnin had the goal at the end of the game when it was well out of hand, but like I think Wenberg's definitely proven his value, especially on the power play. Toffoli, and I was kind of curious to see how, especially with Granlund being out, they kind of went the 2-line, like we're just going to try to put some guys here, but interesting that they didn't have Will Smith on that line. So they wanted maybe Cunnin with his forechecking ability, kind of go out there, do some of the dirty work make life easier for Wenberg and Toffoli. Smith, Nico Sturm, who came back from IR, and Barclay Goodrow played about a little over 6 minutes, 5 to 7 shot attempts, 2 to 4 actual shots, 2 to 1 goals, 4, 0.21 to 0.57 expected goals, 2 to 5 scoring chances, 1 to 4 high danger chances. So, Sturm, beautiful goal, great feed from Mario Ferraro tonight. I've got to give Mario Ferraro credit. He played easily his best game of the season tonight. Almost Eric Carlson-esque on that breakout to Sturm to give him the breakaway. And Sturm, he's glad to see him back from injury, starting to kind of come along here. So, and then finally we had the Giovanni Smith, Ty Delanger, and Carl Grunstrom. Played about 5 minutes, 5 to 5 shot attempts, 3 to 2 actual shots, 0.07 to 0.1 expected goals. Just kind of low event hockey for that line. But again, Delanger on the penalty kill, that's kind of where he makes his money there. For the defensive pairs, looking at their Corsi, and again, it's going to be a little funky just because of the Kings it was so much special teams in this game. Wallman CC combined for 54.17. I thought Wallman was great tonight. Was very active. A shot that actually the net moved. It was kind of crazy. 13 shots, 4-11 against. Ferraro Liljegren, 12 and 12, so 50% Corsi. And then Thrun draws back in tonight. Thrun Ruda, 2 shots for, 16 allowed, 11.11%. Again, is it too much to ask for 3 puck moving defensemen? Apparently it is. Askarov tonight, who made kind of a bit of a surprise start, especially with all 3 goalies kind of considered to be healthy-ish. Maybe there's rumors there's a bug going around. Who knows what it is? But Askarov made his start. I thought it was actually really smart to get Askarov in here. I'll talk about that here in a minute. But 22 saves on 24 shots, 2 goals allowed, 2.48 goals against in all situations, 917 save percentage, 8 for 9 on high danger, 4 for 5 on mid danger, 8 of 8 low danger shots. So even the goals he gave up, Brent Clark, just beautiful. That's a beautiful shot, man. That was not much you can do there. And then the other goal where I think it was Kempe, or was basically it was he stopped 3 shots, up close shots in a row, and nobody got I'm pretty sure it's Kempe. Nobody got Kopitar, sorry, excuse me. Kopitar was just kind of behind the net by himself, and he just kind of tapped it in. That's he made a beautiful 2 amazing saves beforehand, and then just one guy got lost in the scrum. So quickly though on Askarov, he's going to give you gray hair because he's going to do things where you're like, no, and that's just kind of the way he plays. But he looked in net, especially when he plays the puck. So it's going to be something they're going to have to continue to iron out. But in the net, he looks cool, calm. He looks nothing looks too fast for him. I liked the Sharks getting a start in here now, especially with he didn't play this weekend with the Barracuda because they were in Toronto. Barracuda don't play again until next weekend. And then the Sharks, who have 3 games and 4 nights between Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. perfect opportunity to get Askarov in here, let him get a game, get at home. You can send him back down if ever you feel like everyone's going to be good. You can send him back down to go play with start practicing again with the Barracuda on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever they practice next. Perfect opportunity. And I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to see this, like navigating these little windows of like, okay, the Barracuda, maybe Askarov plays on a Friday night. The Sharks have a game on Tuesday and the Barracuda don't play again until like the next Saturday night. Like that's like a perfect opportunity to let Askarov get in and get a game here and there. So perfect opportunity. Love that they took advantage of it. But as well as Askarov has been playing, the Sharks want the Barracuda to be good. And the Barracuda are going to be good with Askarov playing. So I expect him to go back down. They really want this Barracuda team to, one, make the playoffs, and two, have like a legitimate playoff run here. So yeah, expect Askarov to head back down to the AHL, and that's fine. Let him continue to play down there. It's fine. He will be back up at multiple points this season. So let's get caught up with some news and notes around the Sharks, including injury news about Quentin Musty. So we'll get to that here in just 1 second. Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So we get a hunch in the middle of a game, you can check the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. All right, let's finish up by getting caught up on some news and notes. Kind of the biggest in Sharks world right now. Quentin Musty broke his hand on Sunday with the Sudbury Wolves. Jeff Merrick had this on Twitter today. This puts him out for World Juniors and probably expected to be out till after the OHL trade deadline. So what this means for Musty, one, it sucks, especially because, right, you miss basically a month of the season because of, you're holding out trying to get a trade. No trade, comes about. It takes you a little bit to come in, but then you're like, Musty was really finding his groove and really playing well before the injuries. So I'm curious to see what the Wolves do with him, right? Because maybe a team might look at it and say like, hey, we can potentially get Musty at a discount because we're not getting the full chunk of him. Maybe it might take him a little bit to get back, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe they do end up trading him at some point, try to just recoup any value they can. Maybe the Wolves kind of look at this and go like, let's just see where we're at right now. And if we can kind of hang in there for a playoff spot, I think they're kind of middle of the pack right now for a playoff spot, and hang in there. And if we get him in there, then we could be potentially one of those dark horse teams, maybe make some noise once the playoffs get going. So another idea is, as a Sharks fan who wants to see Quentin Musty play on the Barracuda, is if he stays on the Wolves and they miss the playoffs, just as a reminder, as soon as his OHL season is done, he can go play in the AHL. We saw this with guys like Gannon LaRock and Daniel Gushin way back in the day. When those guys' seasons are done, they can go play in the AHL. So that might be the silver lining, is we might get to see Quentin Musty playing on the Barracuda sooner rather than later, especially if the Wolves don't make the playoffs. It'll be like a short, maybe a couple games before the regular season ends, and then kind of see how it goes in the playoffs. But Quentin Musty, though, really sucks that he not not going to get a chance to go play World Juniors and go play I feel bad for him for that. So other news and notes, we had Jack Thompson, of course, who was sent down to the AHL. This because to try to the Sharks to bring back Nico Sturm. Makes sense because one, you're still eligible to send just Jack Thompson down without having to put him on waivers or anything like that. So Thompson will be back on the Barracuda, and especially for a guy like Thompson who needs to play right now, and he's been mostly kind of press box. I'm really looking forward to see this Barracuda defense now, which is like getting fully healthy with you have Schultz and Carlson. You have Kenyoni, Mukamadulin, Furlong, like Thompson. Like I've just named 6. Like that could be your 6 right there. That's ridiculous. So, but yeah, wouldn't be surprised though if we see. Wonder if we see Mukamadulin get pulled up here soon. I don't know. I need to do a deep dive on Mukamadulin because he's been very quiet for the Barracuda. I need to decide, is it Mukamadulin or is it Mukamadulin's role? And I think that's a big question right now. Need to dig into that, but that's for future JD. So, but anyway, Jack Thompson back should be a big contributor on the Barracuda, this Barracuda team, and then Vlasic. Looks like he's going to be returning here soon. He's been getting practicing with the team again. So when they bring Vlasic back, you're going to have to make a spot. Maybe that's where Askarov comes in, who, again, the Sharks are carrying 3 goalies right now on the roster. You can send Askarov down, no problem, and then just bring back Vlasic. Or if you want to keep 3 goalies, which you shouldn't because it's just a weird way to manage your roster, especially for a goalie who is on his ELC and you can bring up at any time. But other guys, right? You have 6 defensemen right now. If you bring back Vlasic, that'll be your 7th. So you're going to have to pull someone from your forward group at some point. And Macklin Celebrini, Will Smith, and William Eklund are all waivers exempt. None of those guys are getting sent down to the AHL. So yeah, I think the Sharks are going to have to make a decision here with their roster on who they want to keep, and if they need to make a decision on sending someone down to the Barracuda. The 2 that kind of come to mind are Klim Kostin and Giovanni Smith. Both those guys you would have to put through waivers if you're going to kind of do that, but that's, again, we'll see kind of how the Sharks continue to navigate this and going forward. So, I think that's about everything. Sam Dickinson had his point streak snapped. He had 6 points one game, and then the next game they had none because poor London had to, it was the equivalent of a bullpen game where they had nobody. So they run out a bunch of guys and they won 2-1 in a shootout type of thing. So, that's going to be it for me today. We'll be back tomorrow. Talking more Shark stuff. So we'll figure out what to talk about tomorrow. So make sure you're following wherever you get podcasts. And of course you can watch on YouTube as well. Just as a reminder. So we'll have something tomorrow. We'll have an episode Wednesday night, right after the game as per usual. Nothing Thursday into Friday, but we'll have an episode Friday afternoon after the Sharks Kraken game. So a little bit weird schedule with Thanksgiving. So just bear that in mind, especially if you're out of the country listener. But thank you guys, of course, for making Locked On Sharks your first listen. Go check out one of the other shows here at the Bay Area. Follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Locked On Sharks. Follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at My Fry Hole. Until tomorrow. Bye, friends.